Hey guys, and welcome to the brand new series I'm going to be doing in Season of Discovery. It's going to be another flipping series because of how much success we had with the last one. In the series, we're going to be going from 0 gold to gold capped, which is 214k. The one rule is we can only make the gold from flipping only. So through phase 1, we had another series that we did, which was the art of flipping. Now in the art of flipping, what we did is we started off with only 10 gold and 4 bags, and we flipped our way all the way up to 1000 gold. So we're going to be continuing that series, and we're going to be starting this one with the 1000 gold that we made only from flipping in the art of flipping. As you can see right here, we are just throwing the 10 gold on the account and also grabbing the 4 bags. Now, all throughout phase 1, I did this series, so it took a few weeks to actually do, and we managed to get over 1000 gold just from flipping. Now what we did in the art of flipping is that we just reinvested all of the gold that we made from flipping into more flips, and we just kept on making more and more gold from flipping only. We did a bunch of different sort of flipping. We did a whole heap of flipping for BOEs, flipping recipes, and also a bunch of material flipping. Now with the materials, what we did a thing which is called a market reset. This is where you buy out a bunch of one material and you reset the price, making the lowest price much higher than what you paid for all of the materials you brought. Now this is a really good way to make a lot of gold because the materials can sell very quickly. However, the BOEs actually sold really well. So the pre-BIS, the BIS, and the high demand BOEs for phase 1 actually made a lot of gold from flipping those two. So this is where we are at today. It's a few days before phase 2 is about to start. We have 1000 gold, and this is where we're going to be starting off the 0 to gold cap in Season of Discovery. So the 1000 gold that we've got is all from flipping, from the art of flipping. So this is where we're going to pretty much continue off where we left off. Now we've had a few really big updates to my flipping groups. As you can see, we've got a bunch of different groups for TSM that has all of the best items to flip. We have it all sorted out now for phase 2. So we have all of the best BOEs to flip in phase 2. So your BIS, your pre-BIS, and your high demand items for phase 2. We also have all of the BOEs sorted out by epic, rare, and the uncommons, as you can see right here, and we also have them separated for the BOE gear and the BOE weapons. So we can pick which groups we want to scan to find the best deals. We also have all of the materials that are worth flipping sorted out by each phase, and then the same thing with the recipes. This way we can actually specifically pick which groups we want to focus on buying and which phase we are doing it in. So we also have around 400 gold posted up on the auction house. Now if you don't know how to actually flip, I do have a video up on the channel already, which is a full guide on flipping, which goes really in depth on how to actually flip in Season of Discovery. So I will put a link for that down below in the description box, and I'll also put a link for the art of flipping where we went from 0 gold to the 1000 gold. I will have a link to that playlist down below in the description box. But as you can see, the groups are all sorted out. These have the best of the best items that I personally recommend flipping, and there's a bunch of items throughout all of these groups. Now these groups are actually in my flipping guide, so if you want to get these yourself you can, and they are inside of my classic flipping guide. So the first method that we're going to be using throughout this series is using the sniper operation. Now what this does is it will scan the auction house and it's live. So as soon as someone posts an item up that meets the criteria for the sniper operations that I've set up in the flipping guide, it will pop them up on the screen. Now the number on the right side is the market value. The market value is basically the price an item should be. So if you see an item with a much lower percent, that means it's a good deal. If it's at 100% of the market value, that means it's priced where it should be, and then if it has a higher percent, it means it's overpriced. The second method I'm going to be using throughout this series is by scanning TSM groups. So by scanning the TSM groups I have inside of my classic flipping guide, and now these have all the best items that are actually worth flipping. So for an example, in the video right now, what we're doing is we're scanning the BOEs for phase 2, trying to buy a few of them before phase 2 launches, so we have some of the best items to actually sell as soon as phase 2 goes live. I believe we're searching just the BIS, the pre-BIS, and the high demand items for phase 2 at the moment, and we're just picking out some of the items that are going to be really good for phase 2, while people are selling them really cheap at the moment because obviously no one has the level to actually use them yet. So we're just trying to scoop up some really good deals, and that's what we will be doing until phase 2 launches, and until a few weeks into phase 2 there'll still be some items like this that we can get. On top of that, we're going to show you how to actually post them. So you can post them with TSM. Now with my operations, it's very easy to do. Now moving on to the next method, it's still scanning TSM groups, but I'm going to show you how we do this with materials. So with materials, what you're going to be doing is market resets. So if you find an item that is way below the market value, like this one right here, there's one posted at 40% and the next one was like 70 or 80%. And so we go ahead and we buy just the ones that are way below the market value. Now, a few of the items, you need to make sure that they are going to be good deals. Now to do that, what I'd recommend doing is looking at all the different TSM tooltip data and just making sure you follow the criteria from my flipping guide, and they'll actually show you what to look for when buying items. That is why I'm passing up a few of these items, because they don't meet the criteria that I mentioned inside of the classic flipping guide. So what I do is I go through all of the materials. I'm going to be doing these scans as much as possible so I can find the best deals. I go through, for an example, this one right here, the thick WOTLK scales. There's a few of them to buy and we can reset the price on those for a decent amount of profit. Let's go ahead and check these out. Now there's a bunch of these posted way below the market value. So there's a heap of them posted around 62%, around 62% of the market value. So this could be a really good market reset. We are going to have to buy a decent amount of them, but we can buy them as cheap as like 9 silver each, and then we can resell them for around 15 silver each. So there's a nice amount of profit, and because it's a material, it is going to sell in the high quantities, and we're also going to be buying a large amount of this item, so the profit really adds up very quickly. And now you can sell these off very quickly, the materials, because they sell obviously a lot faster in a lot higher quantity than like your BOEs and your recipes. Now this would be one of my favorite sorts of flipping to do, is doing market resets on materials that I know I can actually sell very quickly and make some nice decent profit. You won't have to worry about holding on to these forever, because obviously you're going to be able to sell these specific materials very quickly. So we reset this all the way down to 14 silver and 71 copper. Then we'll resell all of ours that we have now at that price. Then let's jump over and check out the recipes. So the recipes, we have the phases, so phase 1 and phase 2, and then we have phase 3 and 4 also in the same group together. So going into phase 2, the phase 2 recipes are going to be really good, but with the BOEs, the materials and the recipes, you can still obviously flip the phase 1 things, because people are constantly going to be leveling alts, and they're also, well, for the materials and for the recipes, they're always going to be leveling professions. So people are always going to need new recipes and materials to actually level up their professions, even if they're from phase 1. So if you already have the classic flipping guide, I'd just like to say a big tip: don't just give up on the phase 1 items, because people are still going to need them. Don't just focus on the phase 2 stuff, as tempting as it would be. I'd still recommend focusing on all the groups, so phase 1 and phase 2. I wouldn't recommend focusing on phase 3 things or phase 4 things yet, because they can't actually be used in the game at the moment. But going back to phase 1 items, they definitely can still be worth flipping, and you can make a lot of gold from flipping the previous phase of items. So we're going to grab out all of the items that we just brought from the materials and the recipes, and we'll go ahead and we'll throw these up on the auction house. It's super easy to post items up on the auction house. You just use TSM, and with my operations, it will automatically calculate a profitable price, and it will post everything for you. All you have to do is click that post button or use the TSM macro and it'll post them up on the auction house very quickly, and always at a profitable price no matter what. So if you're a beginner and you're just getting into flipping, the operations for my TSM groups are set up to make it very beginner friendly, and it will only post items at a profitable price no matter what, so you don't even have to worry about the price. If you're posting an item, you just 100% know it's going to be posted at a profitable price, so you don't have to keep track of how much you paid for an item and how much you will then have to sell an item for. So this is what we're going to be doing throughout this series, and we're going to be seeing if we can get to the gold cap in Season of Discovery. It's a really big goal, but I believe that we can get there. Once you start building up more and more gold, that is where it has like a snowball effect, and you can start making even more gold. So when you have a little amount, it's a bit slower, but the more gold that you have, the more gold you can actually make. And if you too would like to learn how to flip how I am throughout this series, you can find exactly how to do that inside of my flipping guide, and also you can get access to my TSM groups and operations for flipping. You can import them straight into your TSM and you'll be able to be doing exactly what I'm doing and have my groups and operations with all of the best items and operations set up for flipping and making a lot of gold. So that was it for the first episode of 0 to Gold Cap in the Season of Discovery. If you enjoyed this series idea, hit the thumbs up button and also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Until the next one, guys, take care.